Hi guys, and welcome back. And we're quickly going to recap what we talked about previously. In a broad way of saying it, we basically discussed the core. We did talk a little bit about legs, but we mainly discussed the core. So today I'm going even further, and we're going to discuss something that is absolutely dependent on the core, on what's happening here, for you to be able to function properly up top. And we're going to discuss posture. So for the next couple of videos, we're going to be discussing the way you carry yourself, how you look. Basically, we're going to discuss posture. But I want to come at this from a bit of a different angle that I suspect you've heard before. So let's dive in. Oh, and before I forget, my rule about doing the milkshake muscle exercise every time I say it still stands. So I'm going to keep you to that challenge. Right. Let's get started. So posture. Basically, posture is the first way we communicate. Before you open your mouth, the moment someone walks in the door or they see you walk in, you've already communicated something via your posture. So obviously we all know the classic ones, if I'm being dramatic, if I'm walking like this, or if we're like this, it's very easy to communicate. And even if you think you're not communicating that way, I promise you are. So now we need to ask ourselves the questions. What do I want to communicate via my body? And what am I actually communicating? So there's a lot of times that I've got one thing in my head, but what I'm actually putting into practice is something completely different. So I may think I feel confident, and in certain settings, yes, I am confident. So I will carry myself with confidence there. But at other times, even, if you don't feel as good or sure about yourself, it is going to slip through with your posture. You're going to see it. And something that has a big impact on this is actually your ability to maintain posture. So even if you're feeling a lot more confident than you're looking, I promise you, you're going to start acting unconfident eventually, because that's what you're communicating to people, and that's the way people are going to treat you, as if you do not have the confidence. Right, so let's go further. I want to ask you to do something for me. When you're feeling a bit insecure, if you're not feeling confident, take 1 minute, and this is a timed thing. It's an actual exercise. There's been studies on this. And I want you to go stand like Superman. Feet shoulder width apart, chest out, arms on your hands on your hips. Maintain that posture for 1 minute and do focused, mindful breathing. What that means is just focus on what you're breathing in, breathe in to the fullest, expand your chest, and breathe out completely. Do that for 1 minute, and you will be surprised at the results. Your mood will improve. You will ultimately feel more confident. We have been programmed on a cellular level to respond to this. By assuming a power pose, that's what it's called, a power pose, in other words, by looking confident and allowing ourselves to feel that in our bodies, in turn it will make us confident. And that is a little circle that keeps going, because the more confident you feel, the more confident postures you're going to assume. So that's my one challenge for you today, and it works. I've done it. I'm teaching this to my kids. It works, and it doesn't matter what situation you're in. If you need a moment, if you walk into a lot of people, into a situation with a lot of people, for myself, I struggle sometimes with a bit of social anxiety. I will just go off to the side and do my little power pose for 1 minute. No one's going to notice. Even if you're scared someone's going to notice, go to the bathroom and no one's going to notice, and you're going to feel much better when you go out. Right now, like I said, our bodies were made to respond. Your mood is going to improve immediately to this. And with this, we realize now that confidence, exuding confidence, requires good posture, which requires strength and mobility. So in the following videos, those are the two things I'm going to focus on, the strength and the mobility of posture. Now, like I said, I want to come at the whole posture thing from a bit of a different angle today. And since we're discussing confidence that's linked to your posture, I think if we look at our society today, the enemy has us right where he wants us. Not kneeling, but sitting down. Because the longer we sit down in front of a computer at a desk, the lower we get. And I'm not exaggerating this. This is the typical typing posture. And then, to make it worse, if I'm not at my computer, if I'm not sitting down, or if I'm not driving, I'm on my phone, which has this effect. Because no one's working with their phone up there. Everyone's working down here. So he's got us in a complete submissive posture. And to top it all off, he's making us weaker, because the more we assume this posture, the weaker we're going to be to assume this. I mean, you can see for yourself, there's a massive difference between this and this for me. And I can actually feel the difference within myself. So I want you to be mindful of the postures you're assuming. If we look at, I think it's Joshua, let me just check, Joshua 1 verse 9. It says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Now, what's the posture of someone who's strong and courageous? To be courageous, we need to be strong. And I don't mean you need to be able to lift heavy weights, but you need to be able to carry yourself to the best of your ability. You need to be able to look up and actually look life in the eye. We're not supposed to be down here. God wants us to be confident, to be strong, and to be courageous. He commanded it. He's made it possible for us to be that way. He wants us to have good posture, both spiritually and physically, because these two things actually influence each other. He wants us to be able to look up and get dressed in the armor that he provides for us every day. Have you ever seen a suit of armor like this? If it's assembled properly, or if someone's wearing it, it's up straight. It's strong. So now, I want for the next couple of videos, we're going to discover from a different point of view how to approach this whole thing about posture. Yes, it does have many, many health benefits. I'm not going to try to scare you. I'm not going to dive in and tell you all of the bad things that will happen on a physical level if you do not address your posture. I mean, there's so many of those articles and other types of information on this. I don't think I need to try and scare you. You know that you need to have good posture. But I want to change your mind and for you to think, what will happen if I change my posture on all the different levels of my life? So I'm going to leave you with that for today. A little fruitful thought. I want you to continue with your milkshake muscle exercises. And then I want you to remember, please, that you are fearfully and wonderfully made.